This high-protein pizza will change your life.
High-protein cheesecake.
Protein strawberry mousse.
Protein cookie dough.
Or make your protein peanut butter balls.
All you do is take a container of cottage cheese, add some cottage cheese.
1 cup of cottage cheese.
A pound of cottage cheese.
Blended cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese.
Some cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese.
And a cup of cottage cheese. Then sweetener of choice, I use
Cottage cheese. Cup of cottage cheese. Cottage cheese and
Cottage cheese.
You're gonna want to make these.
But all of this got me thinking, what actually is protein? And how do I get everyone to stop yelling at me about it? So I decided to consult my friend Justin. He's been a weightlifter and nutrition coach for several years now, and he's also the only person I've ever met with the exact same physique as me.
All right, so what is protein, and how much do I actually need?
Protein's an essential.
I'm zoning out. I mean, can you blame me though? This guy's boring as fuck.
I need you to pay attention to me, all right? Now listen, we have macronutrients, right? Protein,
Why did I fly across the country for this? We could have just done this on Zoom.
Look at me.
I gotta be smarter about how I spend my money, man. I haven't uploaded a video in like 3 months. The last one I posted got demonetized just because I accidentally made cocaine sound fun.
I think I'm actually just gonna Google it.
Protein is the part of food that helps you build and maintain muscle. It's how guys like Justin and I have gotten jacked out of our minds. No, I know this may come as a surprise to you, but I'm not actually jacked. I've just been lying about it for years. But if I'm allowed to be somewhat vulnerable here on my own YouTube channel, it has been a goal of mine recently to not constantly hate the body that I'm stuck in. I've been in what I would describe as suboptimal shape for pretty much my entire cognitive existence. Like ever since I was old enough to be self-conscious about my body, I was and have continued to be every day for 20 years. And I think like a lot of people, I've always had this thought of, well, you know, eventually I'll be better about that. You know, it's not gonna be this way forever. And then a lot of time passes and you realize it doesn't really matter what you intended on doing if you never ended up doing it. And to be fair, you know, a lot of us grew up during a time where the messaging around fitness was a little toxic and also just shrouded in misinformation. Remember Slim Fast? I used to drink those after I ate because I thought it would like undo the calories I consumed. That's not how that works. Remember when Subway sandwiches were treated as like the healthiest thing a person could eat just because one guy had big pants? That's not how that works. Also, whatever happened to him? I feel like he's never in commercials anymore. And I don't mean to imply that there's not still conflicting and confusing information out there. There's no shortage of people who will try to sell you on a miracle diet that somehow only they know about and science just hasn't caught on to yet. But I think there's also more useful information readily available now than at any other point in history. Just on YouTube alone, you've got Jeff Nipples, Lean Beef Patty, that guy who looks like a thumb learned how to blink. And the main thing I've learned from watching all these people and talking to my friend Justin, who's so hot but so boring, is that, oh my God, you have to eat so much protein. You can't just go to the gym, throw back a bottle of muscle milk and call it a day. It kind of has to be the thing you plan your entire diet around. Like I've been trying to eat about 150 grams per day, and it turns out it's actually incredibly easy to come nowhere close to hitting that number. Even if you're very deliberate about eating eggs and chicken and salmon for every meal, it can be hard to reach that quota without supplementing it in some way. So this is where protein products play a really important role in rounding out your diet. The only problem with those is that, I don't know, 90% of them suck. They always take like an hour to chew, and they never taste like the thing they try to say that they will. Come to think of it, are there any other products besides protein bars where they're allowed to just put a photo of a completely different food on the box?
That cheesecake looks really good. Is that what's in there?
No, that's just what we wanted it to taste like.
Oh. Well, does it?
Not even a little bit.
And on top of that, they're all so expensive that you have to blow a bunch of money before you can even find out that it's terrible. So anyway, here's my goal for this video. Okay, I see ads for protein bars constantly. I am going to buy every single one of them. It doesn't matter how much it costs or if it even looks like something I would like. If I see an ad for it, I'm gonna buy it and eat it, and if you're lucky, I might even spit it out on camera. That way, if you're curious about one of these things, you can indulge in my suffering and maybe even save yourself some money in the process. Another reason I wanted to make this video is because I'm fascinated by how protein has become increasingly used at times solely as a marketing buzzword in the same way that like vegan and gluten-free have for foods that that already were those things before more people started seeking them out. But now they cost more money because of all the boxes they check.
Why would anyone choose to eat this boring old regular apple when our premium version has no added sugar and is vegetarian friendly? It even comes with this sticker that guarantees it's never been used as a torture device. Weird, I don't see that sticker anywhere on regular apple, and I have to say, your silence is deafening.
So there's a lot of products that tack on what I like to call the protein tax. Many companies have realized that by putting the word front and center on their packaging, they can get away with charging more for what is often exactly the same thing. This protein pasta is more than 1.5 times the cost of the regular version from that same brand. That's a pretty significant price difference, but I do like protein, and this one has 10 grams per serving. Before I buy it though, I'm curious, how much does the regular pasta have? Surely it's nowhere close to 10, right? Because it's so much more expensive. 7. 3 grams? That's what we're making a big stink about? I saw this ad pop up and I was intrigued because I like the idea of protein snacks that aren't just trying to be a dessert replacement. And then you go to their website and they're like, high protein super snack. Whoa, this is incredible. 11 grams per serving, only 100 calories. These guys are wizards. How do they do it? But I was curious if they supplement it in any way or if that's just how edamame beans are naturally. So I found a random brand on Amazon and saw that it has 14 grams of protein per 130 calories. So for all intents and purposes, it is exactly the same. There is no difference between these two products, except this one costs 37 cents per ounce, and this one costs $1.76. Almost 5 times more expensive for exactly the same thing. They just market it differently. This is a vegan, low-carb, high-protein superfood. And this is just a bag of nuts. I know I'm probably not telling you anything that you don't already know, that marketing can be deceptive and is easily swayed by whatever's popular at any given time. But it's still something that I have to remind myself of because I can be very stupid. I can know that I'm probably being tricked and still fall for it anyway. Like with this one, I saw 36 grams of protein and I was like, damn, that's crazy. Turns out it is crazy. It's crazy to advertise the total amount of protein in something that has 9 servings. This flavor only has 3 grams per serving. That's not a protein snack. A donut has 3 grams of protein. I mean, I gotta buy this though. The flavor is unapologetic. Good, I'm so tired of biting into foods that are like, I'm sorry I taste like this. I didn't want to. I guess I also have to try out Khloe Kardashian's new protein popcorn.
Cloud popcorn, my protein popcorn. What was the idea of putting a protein on a popcorn?
Money. I feel like this website is so emblematic of what I'm talking about here. This scroll of brags that just goes on forever. Gluten-free? Wow. Just like every other popcorn ever made. Real ingredients. I love that as a tag because it's so vague. I mean, technically every ingredient is real in that it exists. I'm sure they mean something along the lines of like all natural, but saying something is made with real ingredients doesn't mean it's made without whatever the opposite is. It just means that some of it is real. You could put this sentence on just about any food. I mean, this one has sodium phosphate in it, which in pill form is prescribed as a laxative for people who are about to get a colonoscopy. Does that count as a real ingredient? I mean, why list it here but not here? And I'm not even saying I care about this. I've never looked out for sodium phosphate. It's a very common preservative in a lot of foods. I'm only pointing it out because it's like, yeah, maybe these buzzwords don't actually mean anything. The guy in this video has talked a bunch in the past about how much you should avoid this substance.
Here's public enemy number 1 when it comes to deli meat: sodium phosphate.
But then suddenly he turns the other way when he gets a chance to work with Big Kardashian. I guess my point is I don't know what to care about when I'm looking at a list of ingredients, and it's exhausting to try and figure it out. And sometimes this bombardment of arbitrary certifications listed on every food item that's supposed to help you quickly identify things at a glance just makes me feel more skeptical. I feel like the more stuff you're bragging about, the more you must be trying to distract me from something. I think the effect it's had on me is that ultimately I've adopted this like blissful ignorance when it comes to chemicals and preservatives and standing too close to the microwave because I like to watch my food spin around. I think step 1 is to just find things you like eating that are mostly healthy, that fit into your diet, and then later down the line, you can start to get a little bit pickier about ingredients once you've established a good foundation.
Loser Bites new protein brownies come in 2 flavors and 2 sizes: chocolate and cookies and cream.
Okay, I get what they mean by the loser thing, that they're talking about losing weight, but I still feel like we're getting off on the wrong foot here. Hey, dumbass. You wanna buy a little cupcake thing? Yeah, I bet you do, you stupid bitch. Also, this image is 100% AI generated. You can tell because it doesn't have the right number of fingers. I'm gonna try out these protein donuts because they look really good. Unfortunately, they don't come like that. You have to make them yourself, which is fine, obviously, because you guys know I'm a very good chef. Plus, according to them, it's the best tasting protein on earth. And what reason would they have to lie? Oh, looks like they've got a video of their happy customers. Maybe they're still working on that. Sorry, I have to rant about how every website is exactly the same now. You walk in the door, they're already yelling at you about cookies. Do you want all of them or just most of them? For like 6 months or 12 months? Okay, hold on. You can't just say no cookies. You have to do some of them. Come on, man. Don't you want to join the Bean Squad? We'll give you 1% off if you let us text you for the rest of your life. This item is hot. We just sold 15. 38 people are looking at it right now, and one of them just added it to their cart. Ooh, you should probably do that too before this button slides right off the screen. There's so many symbols and check marks on all of these websites that are supposed to make everything seem more legit, but I don't even know what some of this means. As you can see here, there are exactly 38 reviews. Trust us. We count. And we're honored to say we have 100 points of diamond authenticity. I like how the opacity on these ratings gets lower the further you go down. I think some people gave it 1 star, but it's hard to know for sure. I've seen this one a lot. It's called Meal Boosters. I guess you can like sprinkle it on stuff for some extra protein. Pretty convenient, I suppose. Unbelievably expensive though. I mean, this is just dust. I still have to pay for the food I'm gonna sprinkle it on top of. $4 per bag of unflavored protein powder? I feel like you can buy that in bulk for pretty cheap. I mean, if you're not even gonna flavor it, what am I paying you for? Also, savory? It's unflavored. It's quite literally impossible for something that has no flavor to be savory. Because what are you savoring? The type 1 and 3 collagen peptide? Shit, my mouth is watering just thinking about that. Nah, I'm just gonna get cheesy cheese. Oh, but not before agreeing to their terms and conditions. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. And then for shipping options, I can do USPS, UPS, or Meal Boosters Special with no information on what that means. Why is it more expensive? Are they gonna come straight to my house and feed it to me? Hey, me from the future. I think I learned what the Meal Boosters Special is. It's when you pay for the most expensive shipping option and then 12 days later, they haven't even started packing your order. I guess the special is you spend $33 on 1 sample pack and then they never give it to you.
Now, I'm just gonna kind of eat these as they show up. I think it will be a more accurate representation of what it's like to actually eat these as a snack. To just sort of eat them one at a time rather than sitting down to do a giant protein bar mukbang and then shit my pants. So this is called Munch Better. They're protein brownies, and I know they're gonna taste exactly like a brownie and not just sort of vaguely look like one. Wow, what a roller coaster that was. Half the time it's in my mouth, I taste nothing. And then the other half, it tastes like what I imagine brownie mix straight out of the box would taste like if I just had a spoonful of it. It is also very dense, which I think like can be a bad thing, but in that way, it feels like it would be very filling. Like if I ate one of these, maybe it wouldn't satisfy my sweet tooth as much as an actual brownie would, but it would take so long to eat this and then digest it that my body's gonna be so busy working on that I won't even have time to think about other food. I feel like I've been eating this for like an hour. It wasn't as good as I hoped it would be, but it certainly wasn't as bad as I feared it might be.
Whoa, way to go out on a limb there, buddy. Now, there is a lot of protein in these, so you gotta temper your expectations a little bit, but here's how I would rate each flavor. The hazelnut was actually really good. I would definitely eat that again. The chocolate and coconut were both fine, and the peanut butter? Do not talk to me about the peanut butter. It smelled bad, it tasted bad, I was physically unable to finish it. And also I just wanted to share this review from their website. Pretty bad experience for Tammy. She gave it 1 star and then ended her review by thanking Tammy.
You know, I was just craving something sweet, and then I remembered I have a box full of Hornble's Chornbles in the fridge. Good, nice, normal Hornble Chornble. And there's my foot.
Hornble's Cornble sells protein chocolate, 100 calories per bar and 10 grams of protein. I want to know how it stacks up to its regular version. I'm definitely going to choose the Reese's.
I'm gonna have cookies and cream, because this one had the worst reviews, so I kind of want to try what I think might be the worst, and then it would only get better from there, right? It's very lumpy. That's gotta be the lumpiest candy I've ever seen. It's got like goosebumps. That's not that bad. I spoke too soon. I actually think I like the texture more than I like the taste. I like how crunchy it is, but I'm not crazy about the taste. And I'm making a mess. Almost all of these have the same aftertaste, and I guess it's monk fruit. I think monk fruit is like a really common sweetener. I don't know if the value is there. For such a little thing, it's almost definitely overpriced.
Honestly, I kind of think I just hate the name. I get that they're like, oh, we're silly, you know, we're not like other brands, but it just kind of feels like that girl with the bag of chips on her head, like if she was a chocolate brand instead of a person. Hey, speaking of brands, it's time for that ad I promised earlier.
Hi.
I think this is the one I have looked forward to the most. I've definitely gotten this one advertised the most.
Promix Protein Puff Bars are made by dietitians with 15 grams of protein in each bar.
These are quite literally Rice Krispie treats with 15 grams of protein in them.
It's like a Rice Krispie treat, but not as sweet.
The vanilla is pretty much identical to a regular Rice Krispie treat.
I love Rice Krispie treats, and if this is anything like one, which, let's be honest, it won't be, then it'll be really good. Okay, it looks good.
Best part is they don't have that chalky, chewy consistency all those other protein bars have.
It does not taste as good as it looks. Man.
And these other flavors are fire too. I mean, the blueberry tastes just like my grandma.
It just looks so good. It's so shiny. It's glistening. Then you bite into it and you can only be disappointed. I'll give them credit. It's different. If you're tired of eating Quest bars all the time and you want something that just feels completely different to eat, this is like a fun change of pace. I just wish it tasted better. They smell so strong. The moment you open them up, you're like smacked in the face with this odor. Doesn't this look like it'd be delicious? Doesn't this look like you're 13, you just came home from school, you put Nickelodeon on, and you're about to have a delicious treat? That's what it looks like, but it doesn't taste like that.
I'm so disappointed.
I kid you not, the box is pretty much gone. Good thing they're almost always out of stock because I don't know if it's safe keeping these in my house.
Snack time. I like that you could tell their printer was running out of ink before they put this on. Really makes me feel good about consuming the contents of this bag. Wow, can you believe that this cup of dirt only has 150 calories?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it looks delicious.
Now that's a brownie. Went from dirt cup to poop cup. I think I liked it better before I microwaved it. Kind of like just licking the spoon. For something that you just mix with water and throw in the microwave, it does have like a cakey texture to it. It's pretty solid for what it is. I don't remember what I paid for this, but it's also like a crazy protein ratio. I think I judged the book by its cover. The cover being a shitty AI generated image, but still, you know, I judged it.
One thing I'll say about this though, it's gotten a little worse as it's cooled off. It was too hot to eat, but then now that it's cold, it tastes gross. There are definitely no chocolate chips in here. It's a pretty misleading photo to use. I mean, I know for a fact there aren't chocolate chips in here because it was a powder that I mixed with water. They are not just gonna materialize from that. Is it still pretty good for what it is? Yeah. But don't lie to me.
Up next, we've got Magic Spoon, the high-protein, keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, wheat-free. As far as bars, I got blueberry muffin and double chunk chocolate. Comment down below how many booms you think I'm gonna give. They got 12 grams of protein, 140 calories, pretty solid ratio there. I gotta say, looks pretty good. They nailed the appearance. What I've learned so far in this video is sometimes the better something looks, the worse it tastes. Sometimes it's like they put their entire budget into making something look good, and then they are like, oh fuck, I forgot to taste test it. The texture is really good, actually. It's as crunchy as it looks. It doesn't have like an overwhelming aftertaste, or a before taste for that matter. I couldn't taste it at all until I put it in my mouth. That's really solid. I gotta say, that's one of my favorite things so far. All right, I'll pour myself a little bit of cereal. Okay. It's such an ungodly pink. Like, this color is not of this earth. I could use this table, but I'm not going to. It's more interesting for you guys to watch me struggle a little bit. Because at the end of the day, I'm not a person, I'm just sort of a clown. Why is it kind of like pre-soggy? I was gonna say, it has like kind of a sour taste. And I guess that's the cheesecake. Because it's not just strawberry cereal, it's strawberry cheesecake. And then cheesecake has like a little bit of tartness because of the cheese. Can't tell if I like it or not. Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say, I don't really have an opinion on it, but I did eat the entire thing. Fine, I'll have some of the other one too. Maybe I don't have to make dinner now. Ugh. I don't like that smell at all. When I review stuff like this, there's the devil on my shoulder is like, you can't like it. Even if you like it, people are gonna think you're shilling for it. You gotta come on here and you gotta shit on the brands, because brands are bad. But then also, I feel like if I shit on every single product, then it's gonna come off like I'm just doing it to be a hater. And I don't wanna be a hater. I wanna like these things. I spent a lot of money on them. This is how I pour cereal now. Yeah, I'm not really digging this one as much. I would never buy this again. I'll probably eat it because I have it, but I can't recommend this. The cheesecake's not that bad. I've actually been thinking about that old video recently because I've been trying so many protein things, and I think at the time, I was just comparing it to regular cereal, and that's not really a fair comparison to make. Like, yes, they're marketing it to be a Fruit Loops replacement, but it's like saying an ice cream sundae tastes better than a banana. Like, yeah, of course it does. It's not the same thing. It doesn't serve the same purpose. I definitely don't love the way this one looks in comparison. I assume those are supposed to be little blueberry specks, but they kind of look like bugs. Kind of looks like I dropped this on the ground, but got a bunch of bugs and dirt in it. Oh, that's nasty. Magic Spoon, what happened? We got off to such a good start. I will say, again, the texture is perfect, but it just tastes bad. It tastes bad. Also, I didn't get myself a drink, so the only thing I have to wash this down with is milk. And I don't want that. Guys, I have to confess something. All week I've been eating things off camera. Sorry, it's just sometimes I get hungry and I don't feel like stopping to set up a tripod first. But what I've learned this week is that these three things are all delicious, and I would put all of them in the same category, which is that they're good, but they don't have a lot of protein in them, so you can't really just compare them side by side with everything else. Like, this brownie is incredible. It's so much better than the Munch Better brownie. But that one has 2.5 times as much protein in it, so of course this one should taste better. It's still insane to me that this is bragging about having 36 grams of protein in it, when in order to have that much, you need to eat the entire fucking bag. I wanted to hate this so bad because of how deceptive that is, but I couldn't, because they're delicious. I've never had fried mung beans before, but they're all so good. The first night I tried them, I had 5 bags. 5 different bags! I was only supposed to have 1. And like, this box you can see is full. That's not because I haven't had any yet. That's because I got 2 boxes and I already ate the entire other one. And you might be thinking, Drew, aren't you gonna like gain weight making this video about how you're trying to find low-calorie protein snacks? Yes, in fact, I already have. But I'm doing research, okay? For the future, I'm taking everything I'm learning and then I can apply it to a diet going forward. It's just, for now, I need to like really be sure if I like something by having 12 of them. And then these are kind of mind-boggling to me because they taste exactly like a chocolate bar. Like, if you didn't tell me this had 12 grams of protein in it, I wouldn't even think that it did. I would just think it's a regular, like, French chocolate bar. The only thing that caught me off guard with this is that it says woman owned on it. And I'm sorry if this makes me sound like too woke or whatever, but I don't think anybody should own a woman. She can take care of herself. Yo, what's up, fuck fam? Today we're gonna be doing the viral Easy Mac Meal Boosters Challenge. I learned about this from what I would say was the most annoying ad that I got.
And y'all know I like to make it cheesy pleasy, but I also like to make it beefy. Make it cheesy pleasy, Easy Mac Kraft, baby. Kraft is the fam, but this is the health.
Kraft is the fam, but this is the health.
People just say shit, man. It's crazy.
The secret is, for one of them, you don't use the packet, you use this.
And then you're healthy. Because this is the health. You know what's funny? I didn't know this. Easy Mac apparently already has 7 grams of protein in it. And this has 15. So if you swap out the cheese for this, it does seem like just yet another very expensive swap to get a marginal amount of protein in. But paying a hefty fee for a very slight difference in protein is sort of the theme of this video.
Gonna do regular cheese for this one.
Oh man, I thought the other yellow was a little unnatural looking, but this is bright orange. This shit looks radioactive. Before me sit 2 identical foods. There is not a single visual difference in between these 2 mac and cheeses, but there is an important nutritional difference. One of them has slightly more protein, and I bet it just might taste worse. Haven't done this in so long. Hold on, guys. Oh yeah, that shit's good. And now the meal booster. It's different. It's different. I wouldn't say that it's less cheesy than this one is. Like, there's definitely a very cheesy flavor to it, but it's not the right cheese flavor. See, I guess the problem with this being super liquidy was also that a lot of the protein is now at the bottom. And if I don't drink it, then there was no point in doing all that. I think if you want to have mac and cheese and you want to add more protein to it, just like throw some chicken in there, throw a couple hot dogs in there, you know? Now this takes me back to being a kid. Just as salty as I remember. All done. My stomach kind of hurts.
But of course, there's no shortage of meals you can boost with this powder. The next day, I mixed some into my eggs. And fun fact about this, while I was getting this shot, which I'm now realizing I didn't even need, my phone fell into the eggs. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever dropped your phone into eggs before, but I have to say, it's pretty gross.
Boy, oh boy, I can't wait to eat these. They smell... It's kind of the end of that sentence. All right, well, let's see. Honestly, I don't hate it. A couple of bites have been bad because it's just been a chunk of cheese powder that didn't get mixed in. But that's my fault, let's be honest. I actually don't mind it. I think it goes well with the egg. I just don't know if it's worth so much extra money for this. And like, eggs are expensive already. This is like an $8 meal. I don't know if I can justify that.
Man, I just wish there was some other way to add protein to your food and make it taste cheesier, but I can't think of any other way to do that. A food that has protein in it and tastes like cheese. Tastes like cheese and has protein. There's gotta be something, right? Nope. Only meal boosters.
Protein candy. Crazy, right? I mean, the very phrase seems like an oxymoron, and yet the only moron here is you for not thinking that it was possible. Okay, expand your mind a little bit. Now, on the surface, this seems way too good to be true. 15 grams of protein, only 150 calories, and instead of sugar, they've loaded it up with a bunch of fiber, and that's good for pooping. I'm gonna start with the blue raspberry. I think in general, blue raspberry is one of my favorite flavors. Like if I can only have one candy for the rest of my life, blue raspberry sour punch straws, no hesitation. Well, they smell really good.
I will say they also look a little vaguely of turds. If you told me this just came out of someone's butt, I would believe you.
Okay. If you've ever wondered what candy would taste like if it was sour but not sweet, wonder no more. I think this might be one of the grossest things I've ever put in my mouth. The strawberry might be better because the sour taste is really throwing me off. It's so gross. Like I think as humans, our nature when we taste something sour is to think that there's something wrong with it, right? Like fruit that's gone bad. I'm just tapping into my evolutionary instincts and they're telling me, spit this out, dude. Yeah, strawberry's not as bad. I don't know if it would be possible. I had a pretty visceral reaction to that first one. They nailed the texture. It feels like a gummy candy, like a gusher without the juice. But you can't just replicate texture and then call it a day, you know? As great as it is that there's so many protein foods that are designed to replace a specific craving you might be having, sometimes I think it might be better to just fight the craving and ignore it than it is to be like, well, I have to have candy right now or I'll die. So I'm gonna eat this rancid fiber ball and then that'll somehow satisfy the same taste. It doesn't. I love the idea. I really do. You know, 10 out of 10 for ambition alone. 0 out of 10 for everything else. Still averages out to be a 5 though. Boy, oh boy, have I been putting this one off. I have had these protein donut mixes for like a month now. I'm not even exaggerating. And they look so tasty, they really do. It's just that every other protein food I got comes in like a bag and I can just eat it. But this I have to prepare. It's got instructions on the back. Some of it's in all caps saying what not to do or you'll fuck it up. I'm gonna fuck it up. Step 1, preheat the oven. I can do that. Maybe I was nervous for nothing. I'm killing it so far. Huh. It does say I need to use a donut pan. I don't have that. I was just gonna use the baking sheet. Okay, I had a month to think this through and it never clicked for me. How the fuck would it be shaped like a donut if I just mix this up and dump it on top of a flat surface? I got it. Oven on. Generously grease the donut pan. Beat egg whites for 2 minutes on high speed until stiff. You know, the phrase on high speed suggests some sort of device that it has like multiple settings on it. I'm gonna be using my hands, which only have one setting. Also beat until stiff. What is this, my nightly routine? Vanilla extract. Now I'm beating for 1 minute on low/medium speed. Hope I'm not going too fast. Now I use a spatula for this next part. Baking is so silly. Why couldn't I have used the whisk for this? Why did I need a separate tool? You just want me to do as many dishes as possible? Looks about even to me. Nice and smooth.
ish. I think that's correct. While I wait for this to finish cooking, it's time for the most exciting part of the video, something I've never done before, a giveaway. Guys, I can't eat all these donuts. 6 donuts? I'm just one guy. It's mathematically impossible. And I love my fans. I wouldn't be here without them. So, whatever I don't eat today, I'm gonna be giving back to my community. If you wanna be entered to win this, the leftover donut sweepstakes, comment down below your address, your name, your age, your mom's name, your mom's age, a photo of your mom. I guess what's interesting about this is it's 90 calories, 15 grams of protein for a donut. That's really solid. But that's based on if you use coconut oil spray instead of butter, even though it explicitly tells you to use butter, which is about 100 extra calories on each donut. I just think it's a little deceptive to be like, okay, here's how you make these donuts, and here's all the nutritional information for if you made it a completely different way. Oh wait, you made it the way we told you to? What are you, fucking stupid? Awesome. Time to take these healthy protein donuts and just sort of put a bunch of butter on them. Nailed that.
Strike!
I am noticing that all the butter's kind of just pooling in the middle. Is that what they wanted me to do? Mix it around like this, you know? This is exactly what they had in mind, I'm sure. I can't lie, this is definitely me when I'm eating protein donuts. Did not stick the landing here, but when do I? Man. Is there anything I can do? I mean, they look good. And I know what you're thinking, Drew, no they don't. It's just that they look like they would taste good, even though they objectively look like shit. All right, moment of truth. All right. It's a lot of work to make this. I went to the store 3 times today. And I think as far as flavor goes, the butter's doing a good amount of heavy lifting here. You know, I feel like the thing with baking is the whole ends up being greater than the sum of its parts. But with this, I can very much taste every individual ingredient. It kind of tastes like eggs. It kind of tastes like applesauce. It definitely tastes like butter. I mean, it tastes all right. It's not like gross. If I was really craving a donut, you know, this almost would fill that. But I can think of so many easier and better ways to get 15 grams of protein in. Exciting news, everyone. We've made it to our final product. And it is, of course, Cloud protein popcorn. I had to go to 3 different Targets until I could find this. I'm not sure if that means that it's in such high demand it's flying off the shelves, or that it's not actually at most Targets and nobody really gives a shit. Either way, I'm just blessed to have gotten my hands on some. Now, there's a lot of like objective information you can put on the bag for a product to brag about it, the ingredients it has or doesn't have, but I love how many of these products advertise that they taste good. Where other popcorns have a bunch of crap in them, ours is delicious. Really? You think so? Yep. That's popcorn, all right. Not sure what I was expecting. Hey, what the fuck? What does that taste? It tastes like burnt. I think they burnt this. Some of them aren't that bad, but a few of them, yeah. Believe me, I know what burnt popcorn tastes like. I do it all the time. Sometimes I'll get a little high and I'll crave popcorn, and so I'll put some in the microwave, but then I'll forget about it because of the aforementioned being high. And then the microwave beeps and I'm like, fuck, it wasn't supposed to be in there the whole time. I messed up. So I've got a lot of experience with this exact flavor, and I can't believe that it cost as much money as it did. Also, I hate when food brands brag about having ingredients that you can pronounce. How dare you presume to know my reading level, okay? For all you know, every word is hard for me to pronounce. Or is it pronunc? Pronunky? Now, if I was watching a movie and I had this in my hand and I was very mindlessly consuming it, could I easily eat the whole bag and not think twice? Yes. But I could do that with a lot of food. That doesn't make your food special, okay? You put anything in my hands while I'm focusing on something else and I will probably eat it. I don't know though, I just feel like there's something missing. Like maybe I could boost it in some way. Now you're starting to see the vision, right? I can hear your mouth watering. It's actually really gross, the squelching noises coming from your mouth right now. Oh, look at that, guys, that's to die for. That's simply to die for. Dude, I've had 2 bites. Look at my hand. This was like the first ad I saw for them was put it on popcorn. Okay, and then get it all over your body and furniture. God, I feel like it's still missing something. Ooh, I know. Another bag of meal boosters. Why boost something once when you could boost it twice? I just feel like that's still not enough protein. One more should do it. Oh my gosh, guys. You know, Cloud is the fam, but this is the health. What do you think? Do you think that's enough? It's gonna have to be. That was my last one.
Oh my God. I can feel myself getting stronger. Like every bite is just going straight to my muscles. Wow, my hand is so covered in cheese that the autofocus on the camera prioritized my foot because it didn't recognize this as a human body part. That's how boosted this meal is. Every piece of dust tells a story, and the story is about how fucking yoked I'm about to get. Wow, that really hit the spot. The spot being the back of my throat where a kernel is currently stuck, but you know, it still hit it. Well guys, I've reached the end of my journey. After 2 long months of boosting my meals, eating Kim Kardashian popcorn, and even going to the gym 3 times, it's time to see the results. To be honest, I'm very nervous about this. I've never taken my shirt off on camera before. But if I want to inspire the next generation of bodybuilders, and I do, I need to let my guard down. Here goes nothing.
Oh my God.
I look so good. Go off, King. My pecs are so big I can hold the microphone right in between them. And my nipples, completely gone. I don't have to be self-conscious anymore. Oh, the perfect bicep shape. Narrow, but tall. That's a very coveted look in the gym community. Look, maybe I've been neglecting my back a little bit. That's all right. Gives me something to work towards. Holy shit, guys. I'm so proud of myself. It just goes to show you, when you trust the process and you do the right things and you don't take shortcuts and you don't buy a costume from Amazon to make it look like you're stronger than you actually are, you will get results. Well guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching and coming along on my, or watching me come along, or for following on this journey where I went from being a scrawny little bitch to being a big hot guy who everybody's attracted to because of my body. Obviously, I couldn't have done this without your support and without all of the delicious protein products I tried, and also without the steroids that I took. To be honest, I was getting a little nervous that the results weren't materializing the way I hoped that they would, so I have been pumping steroids like crazy into my veins the past 3 days, and it paid off. I look incredible. One of my balls fell off, but that's fine. You only need one. Thanks for watching. Sorry I didn't post in 8 months. Probably won't happen again. Who knows? I love YouTube, but it's only part of my life, and sometimes I have to put it in the back seat while I focus on my health. And that's what I've been doing. I've never been healthier than I am right now. So, oh, there goes the other one.
Hey guy, welcome back to the internet. As always, I am coming to you live from the inside of a giant whale. It's time to get serious. That's why I put glasses on. That's what they indicate. Millions of people have their lives ruined each and every year from some form of addiction, whether it's drugs, porn, food, even things that aren't fun, people somehow find a way to get addicted to. It's a very relatable concept, which must be why TLC has 2 different shows whose names are synonyms of each other. What? Why are people talking about this every day? This show is just this show post-thesaurus, but I'm supposed to believe they're different. They're just on the same channel? Yeah, okay. But that's TLC for you, isn't it? The self-proclaimed learning channel, where the only thing you really learn is how much better your life is than almost everybody else's. Sure, things get tough sometimes. I'm not always happy. But then TLC is there to remind me, hey, at least I don't have 46 children, and I'm not marrying someone I met 3 days ago, and I don't live inside of a cake. Guess life's not that bad. But TLC is. Now, I do want to say before we get into this, I understand that this is a very easy video topic. These shows are made to be ridiculous. It's not even really an observation for me to say, hey, that addiction's kind of strange, or there's something freaky about that eater. That's the point of the show. That's why they make them. That's why people watch them. I get it. But you know what? A wise man once said to myself that sometimes the lowest hanging fruit is the most enjoyable to eat. Also, I couldn't reach any of the other ones, so I just grabbed this old lemon because it was already on the ground. So with that being said, today I want to show you guys a few of my favorite clips from a TLC show called Freaky Eaters, which is another My Strange Addiction clone, but specifically about people who are addicted to weird foods. Like, this guy's addicted to maple syrup, this girl's addicted to Coca-Cola, this guy eats raw meat, this guy eats raw meat.
It was just a relaxing moment. One of those quiet things where you do it on your own and you're like, wow, this was nice.
Hey, I got an idea. don't do that. But again, I'm not here to just point out that that's a weird thing to eat. That's the point of the show. Obviously, it's weird to eat raw meat. What I do want to talk about is some of the interesting production choices that went into making these shows, because there's a lot of hilarious details in here. My absolute favorite episode of Freaky Eaters is this one where this lady is addicted to ice cream bars. She eats like 40 a day.
Since my divorce, I have been using ice cream bars as a crutch. Weight started coming back on, and that just deflated my self-esteem.
It's kind of interesting to notice like the psychological things that cause these addictions to happen. Like in this woman's case, she went through a divorce. Her sons moved away. She was all alone. She discovered ice cream bars, and it kind of filled that emotional void in her life. So I actually feel pretty bad for her. She's not like your standard strange addiction freak show where it's like, I like to chew on rocks all day because they make my teeth hurt and I like that. Even though I would also like to see an episode about that guy, because I'm kind of curious about the rock thing. Now, I think the most scripted part of these shows, if they're not entirely scripted, I like to believe that they're not, only some elements of them are. But my favorite part is the initial meeting between the subject of the episode and the hosts of the show.
They catch up with Kimberly as she stocks up on a few days of ice cream bars.
Kimberly.
Yeah?
Hi there. I'm Dr. Mike Dell. Nice to meet you. We're
like they have to do this very staged thing where she's buying the thing she's addicted to in the store, and then they come barreling down the aisle, and she's so caught off guard. Just getting 14 boxes of ice cream, as I often do. Nothing to see here. Certainly no one's about to sneak up behind me or anything like that. Yo, lady! We heard you like frozen treats. I didn't expect this. And we just want to talk.
Do you know why
Am I
you sent us?
busted?
Is there something we need to be busting you for?
So the hosts of this show are these two goofballs, one of whom has the funniest name I've ever heard in my life.
JJ Virgin.
Okay.
So while still standing in the middle of the frozen food aisle, Kimberly starts telling this very emotional story of how she got this addiction, which I imagine must have made it very difficult for any other shoppers in the store.
I cut loose the husband in my life, and instead of feeling liberated, I just kind of like went into this.
I'm sorry, I just need to grab some.
Tailspin.
Just need to grab some popsicles from
I
my
went
son.
through kind of a meltdown.
Now, where this show truly goes from good to great is during the shock therapy sessions, which are completely unnecessary. You see, within the first couple minutes of the episode, Kimberly has admitted that she would do anything.
At this point, I'm willing to do anything.
To shake this habit and get on with her life. So you'd think they've already convinced her that this is what she should do, and from now it's just about getting healthier choices out there, right? No. That's not enough for Mike and JJ. They have to drive an ice cream truck out.
There is something we wanted to show you.
With a picture of her in a giant block of ice.
That's you.
Yeah.
Just in case you forgot, the theme of the episode is being frozen.
Kimberly smashing that ice is symbolic of this journey. She's gonna have to smash through things that she has never dealt with in her life.
You're right, I think she's ready to conquer this addiction head on. So let's get... Oh, there's more?
We've taken your ice cream bar sticks and laid them one after the next, and we are going to walk that trail.
Okay.
So they go to the park and walk almost a mile of popsicle sticks that the crew had to put down and then pick back up, which I find hilarious. But this is all to get her to realize the magnitude of her issue, which she already has, but they're doing it anyway. But that's not all. The trail of popsicle sticks led to this giant pile of boxes. I thought for a second when they revealed the boxes and they showed that it's in the shape of a giant chair, that they were gonna make her go sit on it. Go, sit on your throne as the rightful ice cream queen. But they didn't do that, so I was a little disappointed.
It made me realize that I couldn't justify ice cream bars anymore.
Wow, guys, that's a lot of ice cream. Now, I'm definitely gonna...
We have one more surprise for you, Kimberly.
But
Your son Drew wanted to be here.
Oh, it's her son, Drew. No relation. I actually don't know that guy. But he comes out from the pile of ice cream boxes to give her a hug. I like to imagine that he was sitting behind those boxes waiting for his mom to come for like an hour while they filmed the rest.
After the shock therapy, Kimberly is very ready for the next step.
Oh good, I'm glad to hear the shock therapy's over and they're not going to be sending any more messages to her via over-the-top visual examples. Wait, then what the fuck is this?
Uh-oh, it doesn't fit.
I think she gets it. I think she's ready to move on. You can see it in her face like, okay guys, I get it. You can stop doing this now. That's what I'm saying. I love this part of the show. Hey, thanks so much for coming out here. I really appreciate it. I know my addiction is out of control, but I'm ready to do something about it. You know, it's just ever since my divorce, I've just been so lonely. And we put a bunch of popsicle sticks on the ground. I'm sorry? Popsicle sticks
On the ground. Oh, no, I know, that's way too much, and I need to—
That's how many sticks you eat. Well, I don't eat the sticks.
Yep, we also put a bunch of ice cream on your table.
Wait, what the hell? That's what ice cream looks like.
Well, yeah, I know that. Do I have to clean this up?
Yeah, you probably should. It's kind of getting all over the place.
Like there's another one where they make this guy dump out a whole bunch of maple syrup.
Daniel is angry because this is his jug of choice and he wants it.
Daniel got progressively madder and madder during the whole process.
We pissed Daniel the hell off. And we kind of liked it.
You look pissed.
And what did you learn today, Daniel?
When you pour that into your body, it's like treating your body like a trash can.
Well, I don't see it that way. You see, Daniel, by doing this, now you understand that maple syrup belongs in the trash. But I didn't want to put it in the trash. But you did. Yeah, because you told me to.
You look pissed.
Joke's on you guys, though. As soon as those cameras are off, I'm coming back and slurping up that whole garbage can. Meanwhile, Kimberly's doing a lot better now. She's gone 4 whole days without an ice cream bar, which is great progress. I'm really happy for her. But then they decide that that's not enough. They need to also change her face.
You've been working on the inside, so we're going to turn it over to her to do a little on the outside so it all fits.
Yes. Now that she's not a hideous monster anymore, they reveal her to her family and friends, and for some reason they edited this soundbite in twice.
I like the hair.
I don't know.
Kimberly was having a great time at the reception, but we had one more challenge for her.
Oh, you thought the trials were over? You thought she was just enjoying a celebratory party with her friends and family? Hell no, this is all part of it.
We brought ice cream out in the middle of the reception, and then they came up and tried to serve Kimberly.
Ice cream?
No, thank you, sorry, but that's just not looking very good to me right now.
Oh my god,
Very good to me right now.
It's so funny to so politely and awkwardly reject something that you could have just said no thanks to. Would you folks care to see a dessert menu? No, thank you. I'm sorry. Okay, it's fine. That's just not looking very good to me right now. It's not a big deal. I don't know. I'm sorry.
I think you just passed the real world test.
Was that a real test?
That was the real world test.
I don't know if I would count this as an example of a real world test. There's almost nothing real about the world that they're in right now. She's at this party thrown for her where they're all celebrating her ice cream sobriety and they offer her ice cream in front of cameras and she says no thanks. Who in their right mind would possibly say yes? That would be hilarious though. Can you imagine how the mood would shift in the room if she was like, oh my god, yes, give me that fucking ice cream. The room goes silent. She has like ice cream all over her face. Everyone's just staring at her. Why aren't y'all dancing?
We have another surprise.
We had something shipped in for you. You ready? Hi.
Hi.
I feel more satisfied right now than if I would have eaten 3 ice cream bars.
I like how she's so specific about the number. Like she thought about it for a second. This moment was incredible. I feel better right now than if I had had 2, 3, 4? No, 4 does sound pretty good. 3 ice cream bars. And there's nothing better on God's green earth than 4 ice cream bars. You know what though? I'm very proud of her. She showed a lot of growth. I think it's very relatable to have some sort of psychological trauma that causes you to overeat or to have some kind of crazy addiction to cope with the fact that you're going through this other thing. That's awesome. I feel really good for her. Not all the show is like that. Like that guy who ate maple syrup was just an asshole the whole time.
I'm gonna eat a lot of maple syrup.
He was so resistant to change. This woman went into it knowing that her life was on the line. This guy's like, fuck you, I like maple syrup and there's nothing you can do about it.
Ever had a day in your life without maple syrup?
This girl apparently only eats French fries and therefore has absolute meltdowns when faced with eating anything else. Like watching her there, you probably thought she went through some really traumatic experience. She ate 1 carrot. Now, most of those clips are pretty old. They're all from like 2011. So let's check in on some newer episodes. Looks like this girl's addicted to burnt sausage. Should be interesting.
19-year-old Nat Holland lives in Manchester with her mom. But she's about to leave home for the first time and move in with her boyfriend.
Why is the music so loud? I can't even hear what she's saying because the music's so loud. Well, I think I've seen enough of this to say that Freaky Eaters is the best show on television. It's a shame that the show only ran for 2 seasons because I'd love to see more, but there's just no more episodes. So I made my own. 39-year-old Martin Hemingway lives in Buffalo, Indiana, by himself, without any friends or family. On the surface, he may seem just like any other lonely idiot, but there's something much deeper going on here.
I like to drink mouthwash.
I usually have 20, maybe 25 bottles a day. Look, I'm sorry guys, but I don't see the problem with this. It tastes good and my breath smells amazing. What we need to do is try to convince Martin to stop drinking mouthwash because his life is on the line.
Oh man.
Put that down. What the heck? I definitely wasn't expecting this to happen.
Sorry, can I do that again? I don't think that was very believable.
Sure. What the heck? What the heck? I definitely wasn't expecting this. Martin seems caught off guard. It's time to tell him why we're here. Looks like you're enjoying a little afternoon snack there, huh? This? You want some? I certainly don't. Martin, you've got to stop drinking mouthwash. It's not good for you. Okay, now I'm mad. Who does this guy think he is? Well, I like it, and I'm gonna keep doing it. And there's nothing you could say to or show me that could possibly convince me otherwise. We thought you might say that, which is why we brought you something. Martin, this right here is 2 bottles of mouthwash. This is the amount of mouthwash you drink after having 1 bottle of mouthwash twice. I was shocked when I saw those 2 bottles of mouthwash. Seeing them side by side like that made me realize just how much mouthwash I'm actually drinking. And I know it's time to stop. Well, PJ, you make some good points. Clearly, mouthwash is a danger to my body, and I shouldn't be ingesting it in such large quantities. I will no longer be drinking mouthwash. We had a feeling you might resist, which is why we brought in your son to tell you how worried he is about you. Daddy, please stop drinking mouthwash.
That's not my son.
Wait, what?
That's just some fucking kid.
What the hell, kid? You said this was your dad.
I wanted to be on TV.
My son is older than me. He's not some little boy.
I'm sorry, you said he's older than you?
My son was born with a rare disease that causes him to age rapidly. And you know what? Today's actually his birthday. And so is tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that. And I imagine that must be really difficult to deal with all on your own. Yeah, maybe that's why I started drinking mouthwash. Okay, maybe I just wanted to make myself feel the pain that my son feels every single day. Well, I, for one, respect. Why the fuck are you still here? I thought we were all hanging out. You're not my son.
Yeah, you should probably leave.
Fine.
By the way, I think that guy's dead.
Oh, shit. Well guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, as always, if you liked this video, to please email YouTube and let them know they need to integrate some sort of feedback system on their website. So if you liked a video, you could maybe click a button and let them know. That would be great if you could email them and ask for that. Thank you. In almost exactly 1 month, I will be touring with Danny Gonzalez and Curtis Connor. We are performing our live comedy show all across the nation. So that's something you want to go to. Tickets are still available at wearetwodifferentpeopletour.com.
I've been procrastinating this all week, pretty much. I think the part that sucks the most is I love mozzarella. The idea of making fresh mozzarella sounds delicious. The videos I watch, they make it look delicious. But I have to go through all this work to make it, and then at the end, stuff it with a bunch of Italian bologna and pistachios, all because of some dumbass Instagram reel. Well, let's get started. I found this very nice Irish lady on YouTube whose recipe I will be following for this. I love this video because she gets increasingly more excited as it goes on, and it's infectious. Now I'm excited.
Look at how gorgeous those cheese curds are. Oh my gosh. This is so exciting.
I'm so nervous that the largest pot I have is not gonna be big enough for this. Oh my God. Oh my God, close call there. I just want to drink it, that's the problem. The real challenge of this recipe is resisting my primal urges.
Using a thermometer, stir your milk frequently until it reaches 90 degrees Fahrenheit or 32 degrees Celsius.
I do have a thermometer, but I don't have a nifty thermometer holding device. Wait, what am I talking about? Of course I do. It's called my hand. Anyone else's mouth watering, or is that just me? Yeah, check out those lumps. All right, 90 degrees. Remove it from the heat without knocking my camera over. Another burden
common in all of this is the need to film every step of it.
Stir in the rennet mixture for around 30 seconds.
All right, that felt pretty thorough. Gotta put the lid on. Come back in 5 minutes. Oh man, I'm really nervous about this.
Okay, the moment of truth. Take off your lid and check if you have curds. And there you see it. It's a lovely wobble and it's nice and thick. This is exactly what I'm looking for. I am delighted.
Well, that's not right. Okay, try keeping that covered for a few more minutes. Not really sure what I did wrong there. The most recent comment on this video is, well, I fucked that up. I mean, I'm using the same rennet. Sets in 30 to 45 minutes. It may take longer. Maybe 5 minutes isn't enough. I might need to give this like half an hour. Pretty similar. It's supposed to basically be a solid at this point. I'm supposed to like slice it. That's why it's so much easier to just never do anything you've never done before. All right, well, it's been an hour. Oh my God. It worked, I think. I just went to the store to buy new milk thinking I was gonna have to do a second batch. This is so exciting.
I am delighted.
Okay. Not quite as thick as I thought. Shit. I think I can still make this work. Whatever big curds I thought I had, they have not materialized. At best, this looks like cottage cheese, but even that, it's like runny cottage cheese. I thought I had such big curds, man. What happened to my curds?
Just look at how wobbly and jiggly it is, just like the way you see fresh mozzarella. We are going to squeeze our cheesecloth as tight as we can to get out as much liquid as possible.
It doesn't feel like mozzarella. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, this is purely just liquid. I mean, she had a pot full of curds. I maybe have a fistful. It's like if you poured a bunch of rice into a pool and then tried to fish it all out. Just soldiering on as if every part of this process doesn't look completely wrong.
Place the curds in your hot whey for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, remove the cheese and stretch it as much as you can and fold it over on itself. When you're done, create a smooth ball by tucking the edges underneath and kind of shaping it in your hand, just like the way I'm doing. Look at this scene. This makes me so happy. I feel like I'm in the countryside in Italy somewhere. There you go. That's it. That's all our hard work paying off right there. This is exactly what I was going for. Absolutely gorgeous.
How's your bread doing?
I think I killed him.
These low-calorie and high-protein pepperoni pizza pockets are the perfect snack you can easily meal prep to take to work or school and can be stored in the freezer for weeks.
For the first time in my life, YouTube Shorts actually did something good for me here. Most of the ingredients you need to make this, I already had from that egg pizza the other day. My dumbass just rolled up to the checkout line at Publix with 2 things in my cart. They laughed me out of the damn building. Also, for your guys' benefit, I went ahead and did the boring part, and you get to watch me attempt to mash all of this crap into these tiny little tortillas.
He does this sort of like triangle fold. Okay. Yeah, that kind of works. Wait, how does he close them? I got 2 cameras right now and neither of them are pointed at what I'm doing. So then seal it at the top. I will say, this one's kind of fun actually. Maybe cooking's not so bad after all. It kind of looks like ice cream cone, huh? My only concern so far is they're not really staying closed. I didn't really do that part very well. And now I'm just getting my fingers all greasy for no reason. I also made some of them way too fat, I think. A lot of things I could have done differently here, but too late. Gotta put it in the oven. I don't know if it's just because I'm really hungry right now. But this is probably the best thing I've made so far. I didn't really get it to seal over here, but I don't think that matters that much. I honestly like this a lot. Really, the only remaining test is seeing how much acid reflux I get in about 2 hours. A lot.
Let me show you how to make some incredible crispy beef tacos. These came out ridiculously good.
No, please don't make me eat a delicious taco. This challenge sucks.
He wasn't super exact with the measurements. He did say 1 onion, but then just kind of threw in a wad of beef. Looked like maybe 2 pounds. I got 1.5. Hope I didn't fuck everything up.
Make your own taco seasoning, it's worth it.
I made the seasoning mix myself. Why are you looking at me like that? You think I just bought one from the store? You don't know anything about me. Ow. 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 Wish I had longer tongs. Wish I could be like this far back so it would stop burning my fingers. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. It's not your ideal taco because it's mostly beef. If we had limes, that would go good with this. Do we have limes? Now she likes it.
Fellas, if your girl don't like something, just put some lime juice on it. She'll go, The more oil you use in a video recipe, the better you can make something look, but like, it really just tastes like oil. When I was driving back to Publix to get my second onion, my mouth was watering thinking about these. And she said she didn't like it that much.
I'm hungry.
Oh yeah. They look like little turds.
I probably just like a frozen banana.
How did he do that?
The most delicious, high-protein, honey garlic butter chicken mac and cheese.
Somehow I managed to make the macaroni and cheese and the chicken the exact same color.
What are we having for dinner? Tan. Mac and cheese.
You don't like it?
It's a weird aftertaste. This is probably the worst one yet. Not good.
I don't know what I did wrong.
I think it's just the taste of the cheese. I don't like.
The pasta tastes really funky. I get a lot of YouTube shorts or Instagram reels that are like, here's a low-calorie version of a food you like, and they, sub all of the regular ingredients for low-fat or low-calorie version. And the whole goal is to make it look like the food you like. And this looks like it would be good mac and cheese. The chicken, maybe not so much, but this looks like it should be good, but it doesn't taste right. It tastes so funky. I think mac and cheese is just one of those foods where you either need to go all out and just have the creamiest, butteriest, cheesiest mac and cheese that you can, or just not have it at all. God damn it.
No, I can't go out like this. A full week of trying new meals and this is what I ended on? Some stupid little mac and cheese crap? Hell no. I needed to go out like a man. I needed to eat a meal made for a big, strong guy like myself. And that's when I found the perfect recipe.
Spicy noodles, 2 cans of Vienna sausage, chorizo, 2 huevos, and some pickles with 3 scoops of peanut butter.
Now this is what cooking is all about. All my favorite foods all in one meal. An entire day's worth of calories just sitting in a bowl I can slurp up like a dog.
What do you say we dig into this bad boy, huh?
I mean, it just has every flavor you're looking for in a well-balanced meal. You got the salt from the noodles, the salt from the chorizo, the salt from the pickle. I mean, there's gotta be, what, 1,000,000 milligrams of sodium in here? Guess I don't need Gatorade ever again. I got a lifetime supply of electrolytes right here. It just sucks that I'm so full. I'd love to eat more of this, but I'm so full. I had a slice of bread earlier, so it's just no room left.
I started this video under the assumption that I'd been holding myself back all this time. By bookmarking posts and coming up with plans only to never follow through with them, I'd been preventing myself from ever reaching my full potential. I now know that I was wrong. You see, every time you actually make a recipe you see online, you're robbing yourself of the hypothetical version of it you'd created in your mind, replacing it with the real version that requires infinitely more work and almost always tastes worse than it did in your imagination. YouTube Shorts recipes are purely entertainment and should never be recreated by anyone. I went into this video thinking I needed to spark some sort of change in my life, move on to the next step of my evolution as a human being. But what I learned is that was never going to happen. New Year's resolutions are for people who want to change, and I just don't. Changing is hard. Growing, nearly impossible. Whatever skills you learn by the time you're like 25 are the only skills you'll ever have. And as your body begins its slow but inevitable process of deterioration and your motor skills decline a little bit more every year until you die, remember this: it's too late, and you should have started sooner. Thanks for watching. No, I'm just kidding. That would be an insane way to end this video. My actual takeaway here is it's good to step out of your comfort zone, and even attempting to do so is cause for celebration. Don't beat yourself up if you're bad at something the first time you try it. Just learn from your mistakes and do better next time. I mean, sure, I'll never, ever attempt to make cheese ever again, and after 5 tries, Amanda's completely given up on the whole bread from scratch thing. But just because we gave up doesn't mean you should too. And yeah, maybe my other New Year's resolution was to get back into reading, and through one entire month, I haven't even finished half of one book. But just because I can't cook and I can't read doesn't mean you can't cook and you can't read. You do know how to read, right? I guess all I'm saying is I hope the very low bar I set for you today is inspiring. I truly think anyone can be a better chef than me if they even try at all. Also, I linked all the recipes in the description if you want to try one for yourself. Okay, see you next time. Hey guys, welcome back to my second attempt at filming this intro, because when I tried to do this yesterday, I forgot to focus the camera. Life can be pretty stressful sometimes. Even when you're not screwing up one of the easiest jobs in the world, you're often faced with important decisions and complex moral dilemmas. And it can be hard to know exactly what to do because things are almost never black and white, except in Darman videos.
This pizza's frozen cold. I'm not paying for this.
Maybe you should get a job delivering pizza.
Derek finally understands how difficult it is to have a job.
I know how hard your job is.
The Darman cinematic universe has a beautifully simplistic view on life where there's always a good guy and a bad guy, there's an obvious solution to every problem, and karma happens immediately. Teacher accuses student of doing drugs, instantly regrets. Car mechanic tries to scam a woman, instantly regrets. Customer shames fast food worker, instantly regrets. Instantly regret. And when the titles don't end with instantly regrets it, it's what happens next will shock you. Which is funny because every single Darman video is exactly the same, so at this point, I am no longer shocked.
If you want this, you're gonna have to get it from the trash.
Here, you can get it out of the trash.
I know I'm a few years late to the Darman party, but I was in need of motivation and didn't know where else to turn. So today, I'd like to watch a few of his videos with you and see if we get inspired or if I instantly regret it. This first one's called Student Cheats on Final Exam. The important words are always capitalized for emphasis. And as you can see, little Michael over here is not paying attention to his classes. Instead, he's poisoning his brain with violent video games.
He took my kill.
Shame on you, Michael. I get it though, games are fun, but you're not gonna be able to coast through life multitasking. When you're at work, you focus on your job. And you don't let anything distract you from your job. Damn you, Mr. Mosby. To be fair though, he's obviously a gaming prodigy. Look at how he's able to move his character without even touching his keyboard. And apparently he's bilingual, so I actually think this kid's got a bright future ahead of him. Mr. Wilson's not happy with him though. You know how teachers can be.
Hey, Michael, it's showing me that you're on mute and your camera's off.
Oh, sorry. My computer was acting up.
Wow, a gamer and a liar? Now he's perfect for FaZe Clan.
Can you get us the new PS5?
How about if you both get A's on your math final?
Which is apparently your only class.
Then I'll buy it for you. How does that sound?
Really? Okay. Well, you may as well buy it for us now, because I'm gonna ace that test.
Huh. He sure is confident for someone who hasn't been paying any attention. I just hope he's not doing anything nefarious.
Check this out. Is this our math final? I found it online, so now I have all the answers.
I spoke too soon. He is doing something nefarious. Wait, did I? No, you did not.
It's not cheating. It's called taking a shortcut. I mean, how else do you think people succeed in life?
By taking the long way? I gotta say though, that was my favorite website growing up. middleschoolmathanswers.com. Of course, the entire page was just this specific final exam, and I never had Mr. Wilson as a teacher, so maybe that's why I always failed math.
Studying is for losers.
Ain't that the truth?
Mikey compares the final exam to all the questions on the website.
Who's talking right now?
Is everything okay?
Yes, yeah, I just came by to let you know that Jaden got a 100% on his math final.
Hell yeah, my boy Jaden's getting a PS5, which means he can finally play. Well, it's still nice to have. This is great news. If Jaden passed, that means they both got an A, right?
0%? This is an F.
Huh?
That's impossible. I cheated. I studied.
Well, as I was saying, Michael got all of his answers correct. If those answers were from this website that I created.
That sneaky bastard. I knew middleschoolmathanswers.com was too good to be true.
You did?
I did.
All right, and let's use that same exact shot again. Perfect.
There are no shortcuts to success. You have to do things the right way.
That must be the lesson of the video, because they put it in the script twice.
There are no shortcuts to success. You have to do things the right way.
Oh, sorry? 3 times, actually.
That's so unfair! Go to your room. Now. Just wait till I tell your dad about this.
I'm sure he'll be back any day now. As time has gone on, Darman has gotten more and more meta. He loves mentioning people who've made videos about him, like Cody Ko, who actually got to be in one of his videos.
Cody's the new cook here. I'm so sorry, man.
And it was a very inspiring lesson about the importance of being patient.
Look, now I realize that success does require patience. And great things really do take time.
Oh, I quit. Dahar also has characters mention himself a lot.
Today we will be watching a Darman video.
Yes, I love Darman.
Yeah, there's no surprise there. Only nerds and dorks watch Darman.
I like how on one hand you have the self-deprecation of someone being like, Darman's for nerds, but then you also have these other characters defend and compliment him.
All his videos are dumb.
They're not dumb, Billy. They teach important life lessons.
Are you watching Drew Gooden videos? Yeah. That guy is a loser. All he does is film himself pooping and farting all day long, edit into a little compilation, and then upload it to his OnlyFans. And I happen to like that. I think Drew Gooden is a very cool guy who seems handsome as well and is smart guy. You're right. He is much awesome, and I couldn't agree more on the handsome part. It actually goes even further than that. You see, in this sketch, Darman is written to be the ultimate celebrity. He is idolized by every single child in this school, except for the bully.
Because only losers with no friends watch his videos.
That's not true. I watch Starman. I love all his videos.
Noah even spends his lunch break watching him on YouTube. Side note, I love that instead of just playing a video on the phone, they made the editor mask it onto the phone frame by frame. As a former video editor myself, I can relate to that all too well. Oh, don't you think we should pull up the video? Don't worry about it. We'll fix it in post. What do you mean we? What'd you say? Nothing? Sorry. And take that paper off. You got it, boss. And when Noah's mom comes to pick him up after a long day of ruthless bullying,
Dork! Psych!
she knows just how to make him feel better.
Darman t-shirt. So you see?
Really? Wow. Thanks, Mom. I love it.
That's right, honey. I got you merch. Are you happy now?
Yeah, merch make me happy.
That's right, merch can cheer anyone up, even the saddest, loneliest boy. You just have to buy a shirt like me, and then you'll be happy. Link in description.
Loser!
Tell me what's going on.
I don't have any friends. And today, I was the laughing stock of the school. You see? Oh, my glasses. My glasses. I can't see.
There you go.
Oh, thanks.
Are you okay?
That's Darman. Some kid at school's been really mean to me. Look, again, I'm really sorry. Darman, I can't believe it's really you. I'm like your #1 fan.
I can't believe it. This is the best day of my life. Wait, why are you standing outside of a middle school? That's kind of weird.
You know, back when I was in school, I didn't even have any friends.
Wait, what? You did?
That can't be true. You're Darman. You're the coolest guy ever. We worship you.
What's so funny?
Darman?
In this universe, you are literally our God. You gave birth to us.
Thanks, Noah. I really appreciate that. And you know what? I think you're so cool. I even made you your own limited edition merch.
Holy shit, it's a real shirt. I can really buy it.
I can't believe this. I'm gonna go put this on right now.
I guess my work here is done. If you guys need me, I will be standing in the parking lot, just kind of lurking there. So. It's funny when you start to notice how formulaic every video is, to a T. There's always a scene near the beginning where the adult finds a reason to leave the room so the kids can be mean to each other in peace.
I have to get this. I'll be back. Just give me 1 minute.
I gotta take this.
Next, we're gonna hear from... Sorry, guys. I do have to take this.
No one is calling me. I just have to take my phone outside. And while they're gone, one of the kids will throw out the most basic, uncreative insult at the nerd, and everyone else will laugh hysterically.
You don't have any friends.
Stop it, Paula. It's not nice to beat.
How are you going to beat me when you can't even say a simple word, stuttering Steven?
I do have to say, the set pieces in these videos are immaculate. Even though this classroom sort of looks like your brain's vague interpretation of one while in a dream, it almost seems real with such details as the name of the school on the whiteboard. My teachers would always do that too, just in case we forgot where we were. In this one, Steven and Paula are going head to head in the race for class president.
Because I'm popular and I'm pretty.
It's a real David versus Goliath story. I love their campaign slogans. Vote for Steven to end bullying. Or vote for Princess Paula because I'm the most popular. Her famous quote.
So that's why I think you should vote for me. I'm popular, I'm pretty, plus I'll make sure we have less homework and more movies.
These kids have really lofty goals as class president. Steve wants to arrest all the bullies and Paula's gonna ban homework. Do middle school class presidents actually do anything? Because I feel like this plot is sort of built on the notion that whoever wins is going to be sitting behind a desk all day passing executive orders.
No, I said pizza for lunch every day.
I guess now that I think about it, the title could be interpreted pretty ominously. Kids make fun of boy and live to regret it. Sounds like he might hire the middle school Secret Service to take care of anyone who called him Stuttering Steven, which, by the way, is a top-tier nickname, and one that's definitely worthy of the laughter that ensues each time it's said.
Stuttering Steven, Stuttering Steven, Stuttering Steven.
This is another one of my favorite Darman tropes. In the last video, Noah was a nerd, so the bully called him
Noah the nerd.
And then there was one with a poor kid named Gordon who bought his clothes from Goodwill.
See you later, Goodwill Gordon. Goodwill Gordon.
And then there's another bullying video about a girl in a wheelchair named Wendy, and this one's kind of tough, so I'm gonna give you a few minutes to think about it. What do you think her nickname is?
Wheelchair Wendy.
I don't know how he comes up with this stuff.
Homeless Heather.
Jordan the janitor.
This time it's Wendy who's getting made fun of because we've been transported into the Darman universe where everyone is a bully except for the nerds and people with disabilities.
Would one of you mind helping me reach that?
Just because your legs don't work doesn't mean your arms don't work.
She just keeps on roasting Wendy for absolutely no reason and expects Noah, that's right, we got another Noah.
There's Noah. He's so hot.
She expects him to laugh along because he's the football quarterback guy. And that's what football quarterback guys do. But he doesn't, so she's confused until she learns.
Why do you keep sticking up for her?
Because I know what it feels like to be in her shoes. A few years ago, I took a really bad hit. The doctor told me that I wouldn't be able to walk for a really long time. But do you know what hurt even more? How other people would treat me. They'd stop and stare.
Really? He's like... Did you hear about Noah? He suffered a major spinal injury that could leave him paralyzed for the rest of his life. Oh my God. That is very funny to me. To me as well, I am laughing at that.
I know what it feels like to be in a wheelchair. And Wendy doesn't deserve to be treated that way.
So, is the point that if he hadn't experienced that, then the bullying would be okay? Is the lesson that you can only be nice to someone if you can relate to them? Because it almost sounds like Noah would be laughing at Wendy if he hadn't personally been in a wheelchair himself, which I think is kind of flawed logic. You could be nice to someone just because. That's kind of how all these videos go. Another one of my favorites is the trope of the rich kid making fun of the poor kid, and then the parents of the rich kid are like, hey, you need to walk a mile in their shoes, and then they do, and they're like, wow, I never knew it was so hard to be poor. I was spoiled.
Joey takes out an old tablet since his mom took away his new one. Everyone laughs and makes him feel really bad.
I like how in this one, it's established that the Minecraft shirts are new and cool, but the Animal Crossing is so last year.
No way! Look at what you're wearing! Is that last year's Animal Crossing t-shirt?
Yeah.
Why? No one plays that anymore. We're gonna play Minecraft.
Minecraft's been around since like 2012. Those could be very old shirts. It is hard to completely make fun of these videos. They can be pretty cringy and the music is always comically intense.
Oh, you have 7 followers on Instagram.
And you want to be a YouTuber.
But the intentions are good, so I can't be mad about that. I'm sure there were at least a couple of kids who watched one of these and came away more empathetic towards someone than they were before. And that's great. They're also weirdly addicting to watch because even though you know what's gonna happen at the end of all of them, they always write the bully to be so unlikable that you kind of want to stick around for their inevitable comeuppance.
Never judge a book by its cover.
Ooh. Would you look at that? A woman who knows nothing about cars.
As a woman, you may not be able to understand all this.
She's a woman, for crying out loud. I know as a woman, you probably don't know much about cars.
I actually know a lot about cars.
You're fired.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, Darman, keep up the good work. YouTube just wouldn't be the same without you. And also, please cast me in one of your videos. I could pretend to be a cook. I could knock over an egg. Just give me a shot. Small disclaimer, I do live in Florida. You're gonna have to fly out to me. I will not come to you. That's non-negotiable. Those are my terms. Needless to say, this has been a very inspiring afternoon. I think I'm finally feeling like myself again. And if there's one thing I know myself would do, it would be a brand deal. Be sure to tune in first thing tomorrow morning for a brand new video where I take all of my other videos and put a laugh track over them. Bye. Hey guys, welcome back to an extremely specific rant that almost none of you will care about. There's nothing I love more than a good documentary. If all the schools in the country replaced their boring ass textbooks with really well-made documentaries, I would have been a straight A student. But they didn't. And I wasn't. So imagine my excitement when I saw Netflix release a new documentary about minimalism, which is something I find really interesting. It's this increasingly popular mindset that if you get rid of all the junk in your house that adds no value to your life, you will feel freer and happier. That's an overly simple definition, but there's a spectrum to it, right? Some people take it to the extreme and they get rid of everything. They live in a tiny house. And some people just want to try to avoid buying things they don't need in the first place. Anyway, I was excited to watch this documentary, and so I did. And I was uncomfortable the entire time, and I couldn't figure out why. And even when I was done, it kept nagging at me. So I went online, read some reviews, saw that other people were uncomfortable too, and I was like, that's good, I'm not alone. And now I have to make a video about this.
I want it, and I want it now.
The thing is, I love the message that is at the core of this documentary. There's a ton of valuable information in here about rampant consumerism that's taken over our lives, how all our devices are connected, and they listen to our conversations so they know what products to advertise to us, and then we buy things we don't need because we think they'll make us happy, but then they don't. All of that I agree with 100%, and I thought I would love this documentary, but these two guys are so fucking weird.
Minimalism is the thing that gets us past the things, so we can make room for life's most important things, which actually aren't things at all.
I feel like while watching this, I'm being indoctrinated into a cult.
How might your life be better with less?
They're standing in this dimly lit room wearing all black, speaking with the cadence of a pastor giving a sermon about the dangers of hoarding.
Of course, most of us aren't hoarders, right? No.
And that's when Moses turned to God and said, God, I have too many fidget spinners.
I might have been living the American dream, but it wasn't my dream. And it took getting everything I thought I wanted to realize that maybe everything I ever wanted wasn't actually what I wanted at all.
I can't tell if I'm listening to like slam poetry or if they're auditioning for a school play.
Mom and I moved 20 miles south to a suburb of Dayton. Which sounds nice, right? The suburbs. But it wasn't really nice at all. At all.
Sometimes it sounds like they're about to burst into song.
Our memories are not in our things. Our memories are inside us.
And then this guy keeps talking about his mom, but when he refers to her, he doesn't say my mom. He just says mom, like she's all of our moms.
I know Mom certainly did. I got a phone call from Mom.
Don't even get me started on Mom's bedroom.
But like I said, it's not all bad. There's some really cool infographics in here with some pretty insightful information, and then some that is not so much.
Each year, we spend more on shoes, jewelry, and watches than on higher education.
Like, that's a pretty interesting statistic if you don't think about it very hard. Like, wow, we're so vain. We value clothes more than education. We really do live in a society. But like, you don't go to college forever. I'm proud to say I didn't spend any money on college this year. because I stopped going. Now that I think about it, I did buy shoes. Damn it! Where are my priorities?
They send us advertisements that make us subconsciously feel like we are inadequate if we don't have this product. So I will not be loved if I don't have this toothpaste. My children will not value me if I don't have this dish soap.
My wife is gonna leave me if I don't start jazzercising. My husband is gonna leave me if he finds out about my wife. My wife and my husband found out about each other and now they're having sex. These are the kind of ads you see online.
I want it now.
And then after about 10 or 15 minutes of pretty interesting information that I was enjoying hearing about, it just kind of turns into the Josh and Ryan show. Josh goes to his child at home and walks around in slow motion because it's sad. And he's like, wow, can you believe I used to live in this crap hole? Can you believe a guy with this amazing hair and an awesome podcast used to live in this stinky shack?
By having fewer sentimental items, we're able to enjoy those sentimental items much more.
This doily always makes me laugh. I guess what's also a little off-putting about this is they spend a lot of time talking about the futile pursuit of stuff.
She owned a lot of stuff. Stuff.
How we think things will make us happy, but they don't, which I agree with. But then they're like, you know what will make you happy is minimalism.
I asked him a question. Why the hell are you so happy? He spent the next 20 minutes telling me about this thing called minimalism.
Touting it as almost an end-all be-all to happiness, and that's where it starts to get a little culty. In a way, they're kind of doing what they accuse all of those targeted ads of doing, by pointing out, like, here's a problem in your life, and here's what will fill the void.
There was this gaping void in my life. So I tried to fill that void the same way many people do, with stuff.
There was a void in my life, so I tried to fill it with stuff, but I still wasn't happy, so I got rid of the stuff, and then I was happy. But why? You're right back where you started. 0 + 1 - 1 is still 0. I may not have been a straight A student, but I can still do math, baby. They also spend way too much of the documentary just talking about themselves, which is what a lot of the reviews complain about too.
Now, we have the privilege of sharing our message with millions of people every year.
We started a blog and we got millions of fans and they love us and they give us money and we don't buy anything with the money, obviously. Like, that's cool. I'm happy that they were able to find success, but most people who clicked on this documentary don't really care about that, and it kind of detracts from your message when you make everything about you. It would be like if you went to church and the whole sermon was just about how the pastor became successful. Amen. Now, you guys aren't gonna believe this, but I actually used to preach at that dinky little church down the street. Have you guys been there? That place is disgusting. That place is filthy. They paid me in nickels. Now I'm a millionaire. You know, Mommy always told me I wouldn't amount to anything. Guess what? You were wrong. Now I'm so rich I could buy a new mommy if I wanted to. So then I was intrigued after watching this. I wanted to learn more about these guys. Come to find out, they have another documentary from about 6 years ago. And that one is exactly the same. They tell the same stories.
Why the hell are you so happy?
Why the hell are you so happy? Why the hell are you so happy? There was this...
I had this
gaping void in my life.
Please tell me you appreciate the irony here, that these guys travel around the world preaching about the importance of consolidation and simplifying your life, and yet they created 2 full-length documentaries that are identical. They've also written 4 books all about the same thing. They also had 2 TED Talks, and I realized this must be why they talk the way they do.
There was just too much stuff to go at it alone.
They're speaking as if they're giving a TED Talk. It's a very specific style of speech. And they're talking that way because they literally are giving their TED Talk. It's practically verbatim.
Maybe some people might find value in my story.
There might be some people out there who would find value in my story.
Started a blog.
And
something amazing happened. 52 people visited our website in the first month.
52 people visited our website in the first month.
52!
I realize that might sound unremarkable at first.
At first.
So now I'm like, wait, who was this documentary for? It's all about them. So I thought, okay, maybe this is for like their fans to hear more about their lives. But if you're a fan of them already, going into watching this, you already know all this shit. So it's kind of a waste of time. Or maybe these guys are the ultimate minimalists. 10 years ago, they wrote down like 4 pages of information and they haven't had to add anything to it. That's brilliant. And then there's also the underlying theme of, hey, money's not important. It doesn't buy happiness. You can be rich and have no possessions at all. But if money's not important, then why are you charging $16,000 on Patreon, not per month, but per podcast episode, of which you upload about 5 per month? So that's like $80,000 a month from your patrons. Holy shit. And why are you selling a 4th book about the same topic? Why did you release a 2nd documentary that's the same as your TED Talks that inspired your first documentary where you read a bunch of excerpts from your book?
But even while Rome is burning, there's somehow time for shopping at IKEA.
By their own logic, they should be cutting things out of their life that add no additional value, but everything they're doing is superfluous. And I'm not saying these guys aren't allowed to make money off this. I think it's great that they're successful, but even some of their longtime fans are starting to call them grifters because they haven't really evolved. The way they monetize their message has evolved, but the message itself has not. There's ways for them to branch out in this genre. I mean, the director of their 2 documentaries is a great example of this. Matt Davella, who's a YouTuber, a lot of you probably heard of him actually. I've been subscribed to him for over a year. He's made a bunch of videos about minimalism, but they're all about different specific aspects to it. He also has videos about a million other topics, so it's not like he's just, singing the same song every week. These guys have been doing this for over a decade. It would be interesting to hear them talk about how things have changed. Like now that they have kids, right? How do you explain to your kid that they can't have a lot of toys? Kids like to have stuff, and they're not going to be as keen on the idea of minimalism as you are because they're like 5. So it'd be interesting to hear about that conversation. Or you could, show specific examples of you going to someone's house and helping them declutter. They don't really get into specifics in their documentaries. Everything's very vague. They throw in some random testimonials from people about how minimalism has changed their lives in seemingly unrelated ways.
I got rid of 14 pairs of pants.
I don't think I had that feeling since I was maybe 4 or 5 years old.
Minimalism, it changed my life.
I used to have terrible erectile dysfunction, and then I got rid of my stamp collection, and now I'm having the best sex of my life. Thanks, minimalists. The first documentary is better than the second one, but it's also super vague. They spend most of the time talking about the problem without getting into enough specific details about the solution that you can actually take something tangible away from it.
Going to become a minimalist.
It would be like if someone said, I smoked cigarettes for years, and then I stopped smoking cigarettes, and now my life is great. So you should stop too. No, that's awesome, really, but how did you quit? I just stopped. Cool. I'm not rooting against these guys. I don't think they're bad people. I just wanted to talk about this because I was disappointed by the documentary, and according to reviews, a lot of other people were too. If this is a topic you're interested in, which for a lot of people it is, there are way better resources out there. Like Matt's channel, for one. There's also a subreddit I found called No Buy, where people help each other deal with their shopping addiction. Because that's a real thing that people go through that needs actual solutions before your credit card debt ruins your life. And if you're in that situation, you're not gonna fix an addiction by hearing 2 guys talk about how successful they are and then give you a bunch of vague platitudes. You need like real action items. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else to say about it, so I'm only gonna be releasing 7 more videos about this every day for the next week. I used to be pretty sad, miserable, in fact. Every day I would wake up and cry all day long until it was time to go to bed. Whenever someone talked to me, I would just frown. I couldn't overcome my sadness no matter what I tried, and then one day I realized I could just stop. And that's why today I'm excited to launch my brand new podcast, Don't Be Sad, just stop being sad. You can only listen to this podcast on my Patreon. The minimum contribution is $100 per minute of each episode. Every episode is 6 hours long. All right, thanks everyone for supporting. See you next week.
Our memories are not in our things. Our memories are inside stuff.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I walked into the room and I said, this cannot be happening right now. This is not the kind of thing that normally happens in this town. Is it this camera? I look at this one? Okay.
Why don't they just edit that part out?
Can you tell us your name? My name is John, and what is your connection to Crazy Legs? Who? The serial killer? I don't know who that is. You don't? No. Is this for TV? Sort of. Sorry, we must have got the wrong guy.
Yeah, I think you did. I work at Hobby Lobby.
Whoops. Well, could you tell us about that?
Oh, sure. So Hobby Lobby is sort of a knick-knack store.
So they're just gonna interview him anyway?
It's a good place to work because we have Sundays off, and I'm not like religious or anything, but I just don't like working on Sundays. No, it didn't hurt necessarily. I just wanted to go to a dermatologist to make sure it wasn't anything serious. But then I found out that if you bundle it with your home insurance, it's actually a little bit cheaper.
How long is this?
You know what's funny? I never understood the roadwork vine. People would quote it to me.
Is this
and I
the
would go
whole
along with it.
episode?
Do you guys want to hear about the time I got my tonsils out?
Oh my God, I'm done. This is so stupid.
The year 2005. My throat ravaged with strep.
Hey guy, does anyone else feel like everything is designed to waste your time now, or am I being too cynical? Netflix documentaries are multiple episodes when they could have just been one 45-minute movie. Video games are too big. YouTube videos are too long. And please, for the love of God, stop asking me for my phone number every time I buy something from a store. I don't want to join your rewards program. I just want to give you money in exchange for a hat. Is that too much to ask? Sorry, I'll start with the Netflix thing. It seems like half of what I watch on Netflix is twice as long as it should be. They always make it just interesting enough to hold your attention, but it's still pretty clear they're trying to stretch it out as much as they can. And I know it's not just me who feels this way, because I'll look up reviews after I watch something and they almost all say the same thing. Watchable, but it drags on, could have been tied up in one episode. Please, Netflix, stop trying to make a series when there simply isn't the content for a series. They made a documentary a couple years ago about the Cecil Hotel, a place that has, I'll say it, an alarming number of deaths associated with it. It's the site of that extremely famous elevator video of Elisa Lam right before she was found dead. So there is plenty of mystery to uncover here, but by episode 2, they were just interviewing YouTubers. Not people connected with the story, just a bunch of random dudes who had Googled stuff about it before. They keep calling them web sleuths, which I guess is the most official way of saying that you just woke up one day and decided that you are a detective. Well, since no one else has been able to crack this case, I guess it's up to me. Generally, one of the big things that separates a professionally made documentary from just any average YouTube video is the access they have to the subject matter. Anyone can throw together a video where they summarize a Wikipedia page, but the most memorable and revealing documentaries are ones where we hear the perspective of the people involved. I watched one on Hulu recently called The Contestant, and not only is this an absolutely insane story, but you get to hear it from the point of view of the guy it happened to. You also get to hear from the villain of this story, who is such a monster I can't believe he agreed to be a part of this. It's fascinating to see how proud he is of himself. Like, yeah, I tormented this guy and ruined his life, but you gotta admit, it made for a pretty cool show. But this is kind of the expectation when you turn on a documentary, that you're gonna hear the story from the people involved in the story. So when you put on an official Netflix docuseries on a streaming service that costs money to use, and most of it is just regular people offering their 2 cents on the same blurry video everyone else has watched, it kind of feels like a huge waste of time. It's so aggressively time wasting that I can't help but feel like that was the goal. Like, all right, we have everything we need to tell this story. We have other guests who were staying at the hotel. We have the manager of the hotel at the time. We have the maintenance worker who discovered her body. And in between interviewing them, we're also going to hear from someone whose only credential is having internet access.
I am a co-founder of the Elisa Lam discussion group on Facebook.
No, he wasn't there when it happened, but he has listened to a lot of podcasts about this, so we should probably hear him out. More recently, they made a docuseries about Ashley Madison, a website whose mere existence is fascinating, let alone all the fallout from their massive data leak that exposed a bunch of celebrities and politicians. There is absolutely a story worth telling here, and some of it was very interesting. But again, pointless interviews, backstory that's unnecessarily detailed. There's such a clear amount of filler put into these documentaries. It felt like half the runtime of the last 2 episodes was just trying to make us feel bad for this YouTube vlogging couple, which, I'm sorry, was never going to happen. In fact, I would say the best thing to come out of this was that it forced them to take a short break from exploiting their children's medical issues for AdSense revenue because they were too busy making 17 videos about how they were going to be on Netflix. Now, I would guess, like with a lot of their scripted content, the shadowy Netflix overlords are more responsible for a lot of these decisions than the talented people who work on these. I don't think almost every single documentary is 3 60-minute episodes because that's always how much story there is to tell. I think that's the mandated runtime that their bosses give to them. So even when they end up with footage that doesn't add anything to the show. They kind of just have to leave it in anyway to pad the length. There's a series they did a couple years ago with Kristen Bell called The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window. As you could probably guess from the title, this was a parody of like Lifetime murder mysteries. And it was a pretty funny show. I enjoyed it. But the whole time I was watching this, I just kept thinking, this should have been a movie. Why is this 8 episodes? Is it because they knew it would take me 4 days to finish instead of getting through it all in one night, therefore extending my subscription just long enough for them to make a little bit more money for me? You know, now that I hear that out loud, I'm pretty sure it's that. At this point, I just assume most of Netflix's decisions are made by an algorithm that prioritizes keeping people subscribed as long as possible and has figured out the best way to mathematically do that, even if it lessens the overall user experience. I think overall, Netflix is trying to do too many things at once. They want to make good shows, but they also want to make a lot of shows. And they want the shows to be longer than they need to be, but not in a way that would cost more money. And they need to move the plot along so no one gets bored, but not too quickly, otherwise the people who are looking down at their phones the entire time might get confused.
She'd heard from so many showrunners who are given notes by the streaming channels that they say, this isn't second screen enough. The viewer is expected to be on their phone, kind of half doing something else while your crime drama or whatever is playing. And you just can't make it as complicated as you have because they're not going to understand it because they're only going to be half concentrating on your show.
You know, when you hear stuff like that, it's actually not that surprising how often shows like Avatar would repeat the same information they just told you a few minutes ago. You're not supposed to pay attention when you watch Netflix. You're just supposed to put it on in the background so you have something to listen to while you make dinner. But like, if you're designing your content so that it's best consumed while half paying attention to it, why would I waste my time devoting all of my attention to it?
On the topic of things that are getting too long, what's going on with YouTube videos? Does anyone know? I'm old enough to remember when the 10-minute mark was something videos got stretched out to. Now it feels like half the videos I get recommended to me are 7-hour retrospectives on like the penguins of Madagascar. And I'm kind of conflicted on how I feel about this. Because on one hand, some of the best videos I've seen on this website are well past the hour mark. There are multiple Defunctland episodes that have better storytelling and production value than any Netflix documentary I've seen. When H-Bomber Guy or Jenny Nicholson release a 4-hour video, I know it's not just because they're trying to inflate the watch time so it gets boosted by the algorithm, it's because they spent months working on it and that's just how long the video ended up being. I'm a sucker for a comically in-depth review of a piece of media I've never thought about for more than 2 seconds. As long as the person making it is passionate about the subject and they put in the effort to make it entertaining, I'll watch just about anything. But I'm worried that some people are taking the wrong lessons from the success of some of these channels. They see that a very long video about a niche subject has the potential to get a lot of views, so it's almost as if they go into their video with the goal of making it as long as possible, even if there's not really that much to talk about. The current YouTube meta is to turn your video into a podcast. It's to pad the absolute shit out of the runtime because that's what the algorithm likes. And to be clear, I don't really blame these people for doing this, especially smaller channels who are just trying to make their videos stand out before they drown in the bottomless ocean of content. But it's just frustrating from the audience perspective that the system is rewarding unedited yapping. If I just vomit out every word that remotely pertains to the topic at hand with no thought into brevity, no consideration of the viewer's time, it's actually more likely that YouTube will push my video out to those people whose time I'm not valuing. The algorithm is teaching me that I shouldn't cut things out of my video if they feel superfluous or unnecessary or repetitive or like I'm just saying the same thing over and over again but in slightly different ways. They'd prefer if I stretched out every video as long as I could, but if that's all I'm doing, what message am I sending to the audience I'm trying to cultivate? That their time is just something for me to leverage so I can get more views? That's a little shitty. But the worst thing is when they start doing an ad read at the beginning of a video that, quite frankly, I'm not even sure I'm interested in yet. You haven't even hooked me, and you're already trying to sell me a water bottle that smells bad? Brother, if I wanted to be advertised to, I would fly to New York City and spin around in Times Square. I didn't click on this video to learn about the deodorant that changed your life. I clicked on this video to hear a grown man rant about the Fairly Odd Parents for 3 hours. Based on everything I just described, you might be thinking, okay, so you want every video to be as concise as possible. You mean like Mr. Beast?
No. That's not what I'm saying. That is on the entire other end of the spectrum.
There are videos that go on so long that large portions of them become nothing more than background noise. And then there's the most hyperactive, fever dream editing, nonstop cacophony of colors and sounds meant to overstimulate the 8-year-old boys watching on their iPad. And then there's a lot of space in between. But I guess because of all that space, it's weird to me how many videos end up on either extreme. It'll either be like, I just trapped my friend in an elevator for 72 hours without any food or water, but none of that even mattered because they ran out of air and suffocated before they even got hungry. Or it'll be like, but before I can talk about season 2 of How I Met Your Mother, we need to go back to the beginning. The first camera was invented in 18... I'm just asking that we meet somewhere in the middle, that's all. Also, to be clear, Mr. Beast and all of the channels copying him have never made their videos that way because they value people's time. They're just trying to keep their retention rate as high as possible. It's just a different metric they're prioritizing. If Jimmy cared about his audience at all, he wouldn't sign off on doing this unbelievably deceptive bullshit where during mid-roll ads, they put this progress bar on the bottom that starts off really fucking fast. It makes it seem like, oh, this will be done in a few seconds. I don't need to skip this. And then once people have done the math in their head and decided they're just gonna see it through to the end, the progress bar mysteriously slows down. Like, a lot. And suddenly that last 20% is starting to feel like an eternity. I thought we were almost done, and now I'm not even sure we're halfway through. This shit really pisses me off, because this is a very deliberate choice. This is not an accident. You have to go out of your way to keyframe it like this with the intention of deceiving your viewer. It's such an openly manipulative thing to do to your audience, and is very telling of the way you view them. That you're willing to lie to their face if it means a number on an analytics screen might get a little bit bigger. To you, they're not real people, they're just data points that can be orchestrated in whatever direction you want them to. And that sucks. And if you agree with me, please sign up for my Patreon. Right now, I'm trying to buy a bunch of Teslas so I can see how many you can stack on top of each other before they explode. I have a lot of respect for creators that make algorithmically counterintuitive decisions because they don't want to waste their viewers' time. I think Internet Shaquille is hands down the best cooking channel on YouTube. He's knowledgeable, he's funny, and he always just gets right to the point. There's a promise of information in the title, and he doesn't try to withhold it from you just because he could theoretically put more mid-rolls in by meandering for a bit. For a long time, Tom Scott was kind of the science version of this. Nerd Writer is like the film version of this. In a world where most video essays end up being somehow longer than the piece of media they're about, Nerd Writer's still barely hitting that 7-minute mark. It's just, here's this thing I noticed in a movie, here's some insight about it, and that's all I got for you, brother. But I think it's also worth noting that these channels are successful. They're not doing the thing you're supposed to be doing, but it works for them. And I just want to use that as a testament to making things the way you want to make them, or making the type of video you wish there was more of. Sometimes going against the grain actually is the best way to make yourself stand out. Like, don't just throw together a bunch of crappy videos about whatever drama is trending. Make a retrospective about some niche hobby you had as a kid. This shit is way more interesting. Remember, this website is called YouTube, not do the thing that you think will become popular tube. That would be a really stupid URL. Now, I'll admit it's not totally fair to get mad at other people for wasting my time when really no one wastes more of it than I do. There was a day last week where the screen time on my phone was 106 hours. And I slept in that day. There's so many things I want to do in my life before I'm gone, so many people I want to spend time with, so many places I want to go, but I can't stop scrolling. I don't want to, but it's as if it's been scientifically engineered to be the easiest thing to do.
Adam and Eve were caught on camera. Can you guess who's holding the camera? Keep scrolling if you choose the devil.
It's this weird feeling I get whenever I go on TikTok or Instagram Reels or Threads, just kidding, where I'm simultaneously aware of what it's doing to my brain, but I do nothing to try and intervene. I just sit there and let it destroy me because I have to see that next video. What if it's so funny, but I exit out of the app before I ever get a chance to watch it? I'd cry. No. I'd kill myself. And it's almost as if that feeling is intentional. They've made it so the distance between you and a chance at dopamine is just one small swipe away. I'd almost say it's malicious, but I know that's not true, because a billion-dollar company would never do that. Billionaires care about your well-being. That's how they made so much money in the first place. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, they would never intentionally show us things to make us upset because studies show that people spend more time on a platform if they're seeing something that makes them angry. They wouldn't do that, because that's not nice.
This is what most of my timeline is whenever I scroll through Twitter.
It's the most blatantly obvious engagement bait that has weaseled its way into being prioritized because it's successfully baited engagement. It's arguments about body counts and whether Nickelodeon shows were good or not. And it works on me. It has the intended effect when I see it. I was scrolling one day and I saw someone say, iCarly, Victorious, Zoe 101. And at first I had to squint for a few seconds because I wasn't sure what they meant by this. And then I realized they were saying the first two are good, LeBron James, and the third is sort of an imposter that doesn't belong. And I, in my head, got defensive. I was like, what are you talking about? Zoe 101 was good. It was certainly better than Victorious. How does this have so many likes? What's wrong with Zoe 101? And then I exited out of Twitter and sat in silence for a few seconds as I pondered what just happened. How I got upset that someone I don't know said a show from 20 years ago that I kind of liked isn't as good as a different show that I barely watch? Why is this how I'm spending my time? In this moment, I could have been doing anything else, and yet I chose to introduce this argument into my head? That can't be good long term, right? Like, we can all agree that's probably not great for my brain. If you're like me and you've been struggling with the endless scroll, I do have a recommendation. I found this by accident while I was doing a video a couple years ago about dopamine fast. It's called Screen Zen, and it's free. I have it set up so it only gives me a few minutes at a time on each of the most poisonous apps that I hate but am addicted to. So you can still pop in for a sec and get the feeling of being up to date, but then it'll grab you by the shoulders and yank you out before you get too sucked into the void. You still get a little bit sucked, but not all the way. But of course, I saved the most important issue for last. Video games are too big now, and I'm tired of pretending like they're not. When I was a kid, the idea of an open world game blew my mind. Up until a certain point, everything was very linear, very insulated. You load into an area, you do what you have to do there, and then you move on to the next place. But this idea that you could go anywhere, in any order, what could be more immersive than a world that you could essentially live in? And boy, did I want to live in any other world than the one in which I played clarinet and got bullied by someone who also played clarinet. You're not better than me. We're the same. To me, open world games felt like the culmination of every technological milestone. It felt like the future of gaming. And then over time, it became the standard. It became what every game had to be. And then all of a sudden, it seemed like the goal shifted from making the best game to making the biggest game. I guess because it's easier to market something based on scale than to just come out and say, hey, the story's really good in this one, trust me. I started to get overwhelmed by games because of the seemingly endless list of tasks I needed to complete, the chores that I needed to do. And to be clear, I'm not talking about games like Crime Scene Cleaner. That's a great game, okay? I don't mind chores when the game is chores. I'll play Power Wash Simulator all day. I played Unpacking shortly after moving into this house, and I hadn't finished unpacking in real life yet. My wife was not happy about that. What I'm specifically referring to is when games feel artificially padded with repetitive side quests. When there's like 7 different activities to do, but you just end up doing each of them 100 times. And as someone who goes into games with a completionist mindset, this is the quickest way to make me give up. Cause I'll try to collect every item and go into every corner for like 20% of the story until one day I just stop opening the game altogether, relieved by the massive weight now off my shoulders. I think there's a big reason why Elden Ring had such a big impact on me and so many other people. Yes, you're in this staggeringly large open world littered with places to go and things to kill, but it's not in the form of just a bunch of exclamation points on your minimap. Almost everything you do in this game is motivated by, oh, that looks cool, I want to go over there. It's a feeling you should have while playing an open world game. It's that sense of wonder that has mostly been lost by all these cookie cutter taskathons. Also, the more bloated a game is with content, the more narrative dissonance there ends up being. Which of course only matters as much as you let it, but it's still really funny sometimes when the main questline of a game is trying to instill this sense of urgency, but at any given moment you can just go fuck around for 15 straight hours. We've only got until midnight tonight to rescue my uncle, or they're gonna execute him. Hey, do you think there's anything cool in this cave over here? A compromise that works great for my brain is a semi-open world, like the two most recent God of War games. I like when there's enough optional side exploration that it still scratches that itch for me, without it ever feeling like I'm missing out on this overwhelming amount of content by just wanting to streamline the story for a bit. I think it's okay for a game to be modest in scope. Just because the technology exists to procedurally generate 1,000 different planets doesn't mean we have to do that. Sometimes I wonder if the technical limitations from previous generations actually made games better. I mean, it certainly made them more contained. It made them more approachable. I love going back and playing older games that only take a few hours to finish. I want to be able to complete things. I want to have a full experience in a reasonable amount of time. I'm tired of not getting any closure from games because they make it so tedious and long-winded to get to that point. And that's assuming the game even works when you first buy it, which chances are it won't. It's become so normalized for games to be unfinished and littered with bugs on release that it's actually surprising when a game comes out and works the way it's supposed to. A lot of even really good games aren't worth buying for like 2 full years. Cyberpunk, fantastic game in 2024. But I bought this on release and had to slog through so many bugs, retread so many areas because of crashes, all before encountering an immovable obstacle. I could not progress the story because every time I tried to initiate this cutscene, the other character would not say the next line he was supposed to, so they would both just sit there in silence indefinitely. I couldn't continue the game past this point, and I was like 10 hours into it. I had a similar game-breaking experience with Dying Light 2, Metro Exodus, and I'm not even touching Starfield anytime soon. The bigger a game is supposed to be, the more I don't trust it to be a complete experience when it first comes out. It usually takes years to fill out all the missing pieces, so I'm not gonna waste my time or money on what I assume will be a significantly worse experience than if I were to just wait until it's on sale in 2027. But in a world of titles forced out prematurely by a deadline that was never realistic, nothing feels quite as egregious as the yearly full-priced sports game. You spend 11 months building up a player or a team or a general manager if you're a weirdo like me, and then as soon as the calendar flips over, you gotta start from scratch. All right, everyone, time for the new game. Yes, it's $100 again, but we've made so many improvements. The number on the box is different. And where's your credit card? NBA 2K has one of the most aggressive microtransaction systems I've ever seen in a video game. But they're not just dedicated to milking every single dollar out of your bank account. They've also made it their personal mission to waste as much of your time as humanly possible. A few years ago, they added something revolutionary. They turned the park into the city. Now, functionally, at its core, the city is just a menu. Every physical location that you have to trek to could have just been text on a screen and it would have been way more efficient to navigate. But that wouldn't be innovative. Innovation is when you have to jog a mile just to have Gatorade before your next game. Innovation is when you create something tedious so you can sell the solution to it. Man, aren't you guys tired of having to navigate this big stupid city we made? Then buy a bike. It's $10, fuck you. Imagine if every time you turned on your computer, you had to make a little guy run across town just to go to the Gmail store. Oh shit, forgot my password, gonna have to sprint over to City Hall. I feel like every single element of this game is designed with the goal of wasting your time. Whether it's getting interrupted in the main menu to show you 2 separate ads, or a halftime show you cannot skip even if you press X the whole time. Don't get me wrong, this halftime show is great. They've got Ernie, Kenny, Shaq, my 3 favorite guys. They show highlights and relevant stats, they make jokes. By sports game standards, this halftime show is fantastic. But there are 1 million games in every basketball season, and I don't want to watch 1 million halftime shows. I'm just trying to speed run to the playoffs so I can take a virtual trophy home to my real life Orlando Magic. Is that too much to ask? 58 seconds, by the way. But whatever, those are just minor inconveniences. The really egregious wastes of time are in the My Career mode. Now the thing is, when you start his career, this guy fucking sucks at basketball, which is a problem because that's the thing he's trying to do. He's slow as hell, he can't shoot to save his life, he has 1 shirt and it's brown. And in order to fix these things, you need to obtain virtual currency. Now, there's 2 ways you can do this. Option 1, grind. Spend dozens of hours playing dozens of games, scraping together pennies so you can get 1% faster, 1% stronger, 1% better at handling ball. But it's never enough. This process is miserable. You're useless out there. You don't belong in the NBA. You would be better off in any other line of work. And this is exactly by design. This is how the game wants you to feel. They want you to hate this part because they know the more frustrating of an experience you have, the more likely you are to just skip to option 2, spend $40 more. Come on, just do it. You don't have time for this. Don't you want to get to the fun part? You'll start doing the math in your head and rationalize it as a no-brainer. Yeah, $40 is a lot of money, but it's not nearly as much money as I could earn in the 40 hours it's saving me. You feel like a genius. You feel like you outsmarted the system, and then you realize this is the system. I did the exact thing they wanted me to do. And it wouldn't even be that bad if the game itself didn't already cost $70. But now you're out over $100, maybe $150 if you pre-ordered it. Also, the professional athlete you created doesn't play like he's never touched a basketball in his life before.
And I've got all the natural ability in the world thanks to my genetics.
And then you get to do it all again next year. This whole system of paying to skip a grind that has been intentionally designed to be insufferable has become way too common. Developers are purposely holding our time hostage, knowing we'll probably spend a few bucks to get some of it back. I feel like that's almost the entire business model of MMOs. It's one of the reasons I stopped playing RuneScape after our lifelong on-off relationship. I kept having to fight the urge to spend a few bucks on gold because the alternative was earning it in the game, but then I'd have to play the game. And I don't want to do that. I just want to play the end of the game. How long does it take to get there? Oh. Well, I guess this is where I live now. In conclusion, life is short, and your time is precious. It's your most valuable resource, and you should treat it that way because, unfortunately, no amount of it is guaranteed. And I just hate seeing how much it's become commodified, how companies have figured out ways to steal as much of it as they can from us. You can't even pause a fucking movie anymore without having your attention demanded. I know you're just getting up to pee, but if you could please scan this QR code, we got a lot of interesting information about Lysol wipes. The way our attention gets pulled in every direction at all times also makes me feel like I should be multitasking always, or I'll fall behind. I always feel like I'm missing out on something. There's so many movies I want to watch and games I want to play, and there's not enough hours in the day to do it all. So when I do give myself free time, I try to be overly efficient with it. I can't just play a video game. I should be catching up on podcasts. Loading screen, perfect. That gives me exactly 9 seconds to scroll through TikTok. I hate to be bored. I'd hate to have to listen to the thoughts that are already in my brain. I need to be absorbing new information constantly or I'll die. I've been trying more and more lately to not let the feeling that there's something better I could be doing prevent me from enjoying the time that I have. Sometimes it's nice to go for a walk without bringing my AirPods. There's still plenty of stuff to listen to. Birds, cars, 1 billion cicadas making the world's loudest sound. I don't need to min-max content consumption. In fact, I probably shouldn't be doing that. I don't think prioritizing constant small hits of dopamine, hoping it all adds up to something meaningful, is the secret to being happy. The secret to being happy is gambling. Nobody's ever had a bad time in the casino.
This is free. So how do you make money?
The advertisers cover the cost of the TV. So this is an ad.
This is always on.
Whatever you're watching, we're able to monetize using the bottom device. Okay, so check this out. So there's a Pizza Hut ad right there. We literally are now on pizzahut.com, and we can order a pizza